What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? I got another video here that I want to discuss with y'all, kind of break down, give my own feedback on. Um, Let me know what y'all think about this in the comment section. Do you agree, disagree? It should be interesting. Let's tap in.
You need people like me. You need people like me so you can point your fucking fingers.
First man to treat a woman right is the worst experience you can have as a man when it comes to relationships. V Easy, how do you feel about that?
I think that's true. If you haven't experienced a good man and then when you get one, you really don't know what to do with him initially because of the traumas and the things that you've faced in previous
Back to the
relationships.
traumas, ladies and gentlemen.
Though you're supposed to come, I guess, healed or in the healing process in a relationship, that's not always true depending on when you meet your partner.
None of y'all here. None of y'all women. Y'all
You
all
can't say
fucked
that.
up.
Nah,
Y'all
nah.
all
You
fucked up.
can't say that. People,
Like,
there's
in
women
your
out there.
first relationship, based off what I just said, nah, they are.
To end this whole debate, don't get into no physical relationships with a single soul until you are prepared to get married. That's how it should be. If we're going to keep it all the way a buck, wait until marriage. Dating alone by itself brings emotions and feelings. People crash out just off of a hug or seeing you with somebody else or seeing you talking to somebody else because your self esteem, because of jealousy, because of envy, and just off of physically being in the presence of a person without intimacy alone drives people mad. You know what I'm saying? So bringing sex into it multiplies that 1,000 times over. That's why we ain't really supposed to be out here dipping and intermingling with different people. You know what I'm saying? But
I said being the first man to treat a woman right is the worst experience you can have as a man when it comes to relationships. I completely agree with that, Nick. What you mean? You a woman
Not
talking to
all
the
the
mic.
time.
What you mean?
Oh,
What you mean?
I,
Elaborate.
what do you mean?
He's saying it's the worst experience you can have as a man in a
Why?
relationship. I agree with him. Being the first man to treat a woman right is the worst experience you can have as a man. I agree.
Not all the time. Cause
How do you
I
know
agree
that?
with her. Because what if she healed already? Like, why would she?
You hear what I'm saying, right? Where y'all? This is how women
Saying the
think.
first one to treat her
The
right.
first one to treat
But
I
this
she
just
said-
woman
answered it
right,
though.
But she
Yeah.
said, "What if she healed?"
she's not
How you know?
because
see, they wasn't listening at all. Even the brother who said, "Well, whatever they're healed," but that wasn't the question. That wasn't even the point. The point was when you are broken, maybe something happened to you in your household, your family did something to you, maybe a friend or something, maybe something happened in the street. When you are beaten down emotionally and spiritually and physically by a person, that changes you, and it changes you for the worse. I give you an example. Has there ever been a time period in your life where you went from being one person to 1,000 different versions of yourself, only to end up finding yourself right back to who you originally were the first time? Maybe you were sweet and innocent. Maybe you were quiet. Maybe you were reserved. Then you got introduced to certain people and they turned you into a street. They turned you into a 304. You wanted to explore the neighborhood. You found out the hard way that's not the life that you wanted. Then you revert right back to the original individual that you were before you got mixed in with this other crowd. That's what he's referring to. See, when you go through all of these transformations, you're going to be confused. You're going to be conflicted. It's going to be hard for you to recognize who is who. You're not going to know who to trust. You're not going to know who to invest in. You're not even going to know how to compartmentalize all of these variations of them because you're so used to things being messy that anyone that is doing things in decent order, you're not going to know how to respect it. You're not going to know how to honor or handle it properly. That's what he's talking about.
She
What
doesn't
you mean
know
her
what
the
it
day
feels.
after
knows
she
what she
got became a
deserves.
single woman?
We gotta listen to what's being said. If you're the first to treat her right, all the traumas then come out once she gets treated right, because she does. That's not what she's used
No,
to.
because maybe she knows what being treated
Right.
is.
You have to be treated
and
right to
she
know what it
realized
feels
that
like.
I dealt with
That's
pieces of
not
shit.
true.
And this is the point right here. When you're a good person and you're moving honorably and you're not fucking people over and you go out your way to try to introduce a broken person to something positive, you know what's going to happen. All of their trauma, all of their pain, all of their distrust, all of their hurt and anguish, all of that shit is going to spill over into your life. And now you're going to have to babysit them and take care of yourself in the same breath. That is why the statement is being made, don't be the first. And it's unfortunate to even say that though, because nobody that is broken should remain broken. And if we don't go out of our way to a certain degree to help try to cultivate a healthier environment for people, then how are we any better? But then also in the same breath, you can't make people do something that they don't want to do either. They have to want to come out of that. That's not up to me. That's not up to you. That's up to the person themselves to want to change them habits. But I digress. And I've seen it a number of times. When you go out your way for them and they hear you, but then they always go back into the same patterns, and it's frustrating. It's like a revolving door. It's the price you pay when you step outside of self. When you get locked in with shit that don't belong to you. Let me know in the comment section. Did you agree? Disagree? Did you understand what he was saying? Did you believe in what the woman was saying? Like, what did you get from it?
Merry Christmas, filthy animals.